Hey everybody, I want to talk to you today about this new Tenor Telecaster. This is number 22. This one is for a client overseas. It came together from different parts than what I usually use, and I'd like to talk about that with you. This one was more of a parts caster sort of a build, as opposed to something like this one here where we had some really purpose-made parts. This one I just used what was lying around, and I talked to the client for a little while and they were okay with that. So we took a neck that I had started working on a while ago, and then I had a little problem with the truss rod. So I thought I wouldn't complete it, put it aside, and the client said that was okay to use this one. The body, sort of repurposed as well. The wood is basswood, but it was from some wood that I had found on my property. When the lean-to had fallen down, there was something that came out, and there was this beautiful piece of worn basswood that was probably like 20, 30 years old. So it's very dry, has a lot of character on it. I like it quite a bit. So that's when I chose to use the body. Same thing with the pickups and the tuners. They were just like extra stuff I had left over. So the client was okay with me using all of these things. Like I said, the body is basswood. We're at 1 3/4 inches thick. There's little wormholes. There's a little bit of character here and there. There's another wormhole here, some more over here. We have a big knot right over here that looks really cool. We have a little just character all over the place, which makes this thing really nice. It's also super light because it's basswood. Basswood is one of the lighter woods around. It's one of the softer woods around too, and which is why I chose to go with the big honking pick guard here. Originally I was just going to do the pickup and that's it, but then when I started playing with the wood I realized like it needs something else just to keep it from getting marred up too bad. Like it's still going to get marred up for sure, but at least the pick guard will keep it kind of together, and hopefully it can wear nicely as the buyer uses it. The neck here is made from roasted bird's eye maple, and we have a Cortison Catalox fretboard on top of it. This is stuff I stopped using this is wood that I stopped using basically around number 15, number 16. So this neck was supposed to be used back then, and it just sat around for like a year. But I'm glad I held on to it because it made for a really nice neck. It's a little thicker than what I'm used to, but I just kind of felt like it was the right way to do it with this one. The headstock's a little thicker as well, but it ended up being like a really nice chunky guitar. It was really light and resonant with the body, the basswood. I've got a bone nut here. We've got 22 frets at a 22.5-inch scale. There's a truss rod that goes all the way down. These tuners are kind of like what you might call generic tuners, but they work fine. I might put a string tree on here, I'm not sure yet. We have 3 stainless steel bolts in the back here holding everything together with these large ferrules here. This is sort of a new thing for me. I used to have the smaller ones, like you'll find on here, these smaller ferrules, but I like the bigger ones. They look nice. The pickup here is a sort of a Rickenbacker style pickup. It sounds good. It's very clean. It doesn't have a whole lot of character, but it has a lot of clarity and a lot of precision. So that works well for me. The client, I noticed, plays a lot of like effects in their guitar, in their playing. So I thought this would fit well. Like it takes effects very well. So that's a good mix. Just standard volume and tone down here. We have a pure tone output jack, which is my standard. And then we have our bridge here, standard 4-string bridge, strung through the back as well. One neat thing about this guitar is that it's tuned like the 4 lowest string of an electric guitar, so E, A, D, G, and that made things a little bit difficult for the alignment of everything with the saddles. I essentially had to make new pieces to fit this new tuning. The neck moved a little bit more than it usually does, so I had to work with that. It just kind of created a little bit more interest for me, and especially playing it now, it's kind of weird playing these chords that I know really well on the guitar, but playing them on this 4-string version, it just feels strange, but also familiar at the same time. But check out the other video for that, where you'll be able to hear what this one sounds like. The intonation is really good on this one, like all the way up and down. The intonation is really great. The buzzing, there's no buzzing to speak of. So yeah, very satisfied with this number 22 tenor Telecaster. Check out the other video for the playthrough.